All right, Shalom, with the brothers from GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live lesson. As always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh. Double honor to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations out there to the hopeful elect and to the sincere. All right. This lesson here is going to be centered around showing. So I remember having a brief conversation with somebody in the world back then, very brief, and they couldn't wrap their mind around that men of the Lord back then had spiritual powers, all right? From down from Moses, Samson, Yahweh Shai, so on and so forth. Right. But we can kind of I put a lesson together to show, from top to bottom the different we can be here all day showing this, but just showing scriptures of certain men pulling off various different signs and wonders, very different acts that showed that they had power. It was power given to them from back then. All right, we as being those men again, it's going to be given to us again in like manner, man. All right, but go ahead, start off with that one scripture, Kaya.
Con.
We're gonna get into the lesson just to start it off. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually I'm gonna read 6, 7, and 8 because it goes all into what you're saying. It opens it up a little more. This is Rock 44 and 6 through 8. It says rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times.
Mm-hmm.
There be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praises might be reported. You got it.
Right, and he definitely our forefathers. There was glorious in their time. All right, and the Lord through these vessels, these spiritual vessels, the Lord was the Lord allowed them to pull off various different miracles. All right, signs and wonders for for ultimately Yahweh Shem Shai, man, and for the purpose that they brought them in their time for. All right, for certain men to receive this word back then. All right, down like I said, and they left them as an example for us to today. For us today, all right. Anyone, you brothers want to say something before I start getting into it? Anything? Con.
Uh, Let me read 2 in the same chapter. It says, I'm gonna start at 1. So Rock 44 and 1 and 2. It says, let us now praise these famous men and our fathers that beget us, how the Lord had wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. You got it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are those great men. All right. We're gonna go through the first one. We're gonna start off with Moses. All right. We ain't gonna be all day. We just gonna show, without a shadow of a doubt, this man had spiritual powers back then. All right. All right. And then this as his word. It's a low form of spiritual powers. The very acts that he pulled off was spiritual powers. All right. And it was given from Yahweh Shem Shai, man. All right. So give me that Exodus, my bad, Exodus 7 and 10. Start at 7. Start at 7, Baba Gashah.
This is Exodus 7, verse 7. And Moses was 80 old, and Aaron 83 old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, shew a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahweh had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh.
Oh, my bad, Baba Gashah. Go back up to 9. Read 9 again for me, Baba Gashah.
Exodus 7 and 9. When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, shew a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent.
Right. take that rod before take that rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And it did. So imagine a person in front of you, because this, like apostles always said back then, these scriptures have to be have to become vivid in your mind. When you read them, you have to actually try to picture it in your head, these very acts going down, all right, and to understand them. So even in this time, imagine somebody throwing a actual stick down on the ground and it turns into a snake. That's a form of spiritual power. That'll blow your mind, man. All right, you're a wig out, as we say down here. You're a wig out looking at that, man. You know.
Keep
Go ahead.
going. Okay.
Keep reading.
Verse 10. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahweh had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent.
And it became a serpent, man. Let's see what Pharaoh gonna say.
Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments.
Yeah, they did. When they did it from the left hand side, man. All right, go ahead.
For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they had done certain acts, but it was from the left hand. But to show that the Lord was dealing with Moses, all right, his rod swallowed up their rods, man. Or they, and the Lord did that to show His power, man. All right, because you gotta understand this event right here. All right, this event represented some form of supernatural act. All right, which was carried out through a servant of Yahweh. All right, and the Lord showed that Aaron's rod swallowed up the servants of Pharaoh rod to show that the Lord was dealing with Aaron and Moses, man. All right, and read 13. That'll be it.
And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh had said.
God. So let's go to let's go to I meant to say I'm a wide Exodus 14 and 21 and 22. Let me go down to it. 14, 21, and 22.
You get it? Okay, this is Exodus 14 and 21. It says, and Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and Yahweh caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided.
Right, and in the Baptist church, they like to mention this. Like to mention this an event. All right, this supernatural event by Moses. We don't understand it. They don't take in the gravity. All right, of this. All right. All right, and in this act, like I said, this act was carried out by Moses, man. All right, and it showed power. All right, just imagine, they got all type of pictures out there, or renditions of what they thought it may look like. But even those paintings and whatnot and pictures are still powerful. All right, and they had what they call it, the papyrus,
Impure papyrus.
Yeah, they had certain. You can go look up certain imperial papyrus. These were accounts of people that lived in Egypt in that time, giving their eyewitness accounts of what they saw of the plagues of Egypt. And then in this event, this very event by Moses. So just imagine the water of the sea, because over there in that region, because I think you have Egypt on one side, and you have I believe it's Saudi Arabia on the other side. All right, and that water, that landmass or that bed of water in the middle, that bed of water right there is a very deep, very deep part of the ocean, man. All right. And I remember when these brothers here, we were doing a lesson, we had a class back then, going into some other stuff. Um, where where Moses was, and the way he looked, the way he put that staff up and looked towards, because I believe he was looking towards either in the port of the Red Sea, looking towards, I believe it was Saudi Arabia. All right, and only that part where he was at, I keep forgetting, it's coming to me, but I keep forgetting the actual the actual side they call it today where Moses stood at. All right, only that part. That's why I said it's dry land. Only that part right there had like a, how can you say it, man? It's like it only had the flat part where our people could actually walk from one side to the other. It had a flat region of the ocean. Everything else was super deep. All right. And then, like I said, even to this day, you can go look up the chariots of Pharaoh, the Pharaoh, what do you call them? The Egyptians. You can look at the chariots of the Egyptians today, still resting on the bottom of the sea, man, to show you that these events very well happened. All right, this ain't Hollywood flick. This ain't no made up mythical book, man. These events happened. It went down. Even y'all brothers remember that the Pillar of Solomon that was put in Saudi Arabia. It's still there. You know?
Yeah, these things are guarded by military. They're not regular tourist attractions. When you go in the Middle East and you see a tourist attraction, oh, here's where they hid Jesus. None of that's real. All right, the actual historical sites are guarded with armed guards.
Yeah, this the napkin. This a towel that Jesus had on his head. All right, this is his blood. All right, it's crazy, man. All right, but like I said, the chariots of those the Egyptians are still on the sea. All right, even the bones of the men, even the bones of the horses that was pulling the chariots, man. All right, because once it said our people walked on dry land from one side from Egypt to the region of Saudi Arabia, man. They walked on dry land. Everything else, the water. Just imagine the water on side of them, left and right, being the size of skyscrapers, man. Standing still, you know. And then once like I said, once Moses was done, that very same bed of water swallowed up those Egyptians as they were trying to pursue them, man. That's a form of spiritual powers. You know, like I say, imagine this stuff today going down. Imagine the average person downtown seeing a one man standing on one side of the East Bank of the West Bank and the East Bank downtown and walking across the Mississippi River. I'm talking about the actual water. Jacob wig out, man. That should go viral today, man. You know?
Come on.
But go get that First Kings. We're gonna go into Elijah.
I got one for you too.
Okay, go ahead, Wyatt. Go ahead before you get that.
Kind of just to back up what you were saying, how Pharaoh's magicians did similar things to Aaron's, but they were left-handed, miracles, and what the right-handed, powers of Yahweh Shem Yahushai overcame them. But this is Exodus chapter 8. I'm gonna read verses 17 to 19. And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts. Then the magicians said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of God.
You want to say something?
So, we know Esau today, and Pharaoh's magicians back then. They had their left-handed enchantments, and they were Esau has been allowed to enchant the people up until a point. But when Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai gives his men those powers on this side, just as he gave Moses and Aaron those powers back then, what? It's going to confound all these enchantments and left-handed energy that our enemies used.
Yeah, what was that, Black Adam? He said your magic is weak.
Mm-hmm.
God. Yeah, get that in First Kings 18,
36.
36 to 38.
Con.
I may get you to read 39. I'm gonna see.
Con. This First Kings 18, verse 36. It says, and it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, thy power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art our power in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the heavenly power, Yahweh thy power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again.
Right.
Then
because what's going on? All right, Elijah is basically putting up a prayer to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. All right, we're gonna see what his prayers do to the sacrifices of Mount Carmel. Go ahead.
It says, then the fire, verse 38, 1 Kings 18 and 38, then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust and licked up the water that was in the trench.
Go ahead, yeah, you can get 19.
39.
Oh, my bad.
It says,
my bad.
and when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, Yahweh, he is the power. Yahweh, he is the power.
Yeah, that's just like our people, man. Our people have to see something to believe it, man. All right, but the Elijah's prayer, all right, allowed the fire to consume the sacrifices of Mount Carmel right here, man. Showing you that this a very prayer of a man was able to do this. All right, and it it showed once again it showed who the Lord was dealing with, man, in that time. All right.
I got one for you too when you get a chance.
Oh, you, go ahead, put one in there.
Con, you got one for Elisha, right?
Yeah, next. It's coming next. I got one more for I'm a why you can get First Kings. Well, damn, you might well go. My bad. Jump down to 41 to 45.
Okay. First Kings.
18, 41 down to 40, 45. Same thing is gonna happen with Elijah. He's gonna pray, man. All right. Something's gonna happen. Cause see, I'm gonna say this. And it shows, man, how Elijah, his prayer alone is going to be connected to divine power. That same divine power is going to produce visible results, man, which the people seen. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, First Kings chapter 18, verse 41 to 45. It says, and Elijah said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, go up now, look towards the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And he said, go again 7 times.
7 times. All right, go ahead.
Verse 44. And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, behold, there arised a little cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. And he said, Go up, say unto Ahab, prepare thy chariot and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so his prayers, all right, produce rain to return from a drought, man. All right, and like I say, it show you his prayers was connected to divine power, the divine power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right. And like I said earlier, which those powers did what? It produced visible results, all right, which ultimately they needed that time. There was a drought going on, man. All right, and through a drought, nothing, no crops, no nothing is being produced. All right, but just his prayers alone cast down rain from the heavens, man. All right. You said you had one of your brothers had one to go in the middle before we go to
No,
Elisha? Or you
I
got two?
got one for Elisha. We're gonna get your first one you got for Elisha, and then I'll get the next one.
Yeah, the first one, I'm gonna why you can get it is Second Kings, excuse me, 5 and 10 down to 14. All right. And like I said, you gotta visualize these things, man. And we going through certain men. I probably got about what? Yeah, one, two, three more, and that'll be well. We'll get it. It should be quick.
God, 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 10. It says, And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean.
No, go up to 9 real fast. Give me 9, Baba Kasha.
God,
To show you who we talking about. Well,
I started 8.
yeah, I'm about to say 8. That's why I went up there.
God, 2 Kings 5 and 8. And it was so when Elisha, the man of the Most High, had heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, that he sent to the king, saying, Wherefore hast thou rent thy clothes? Let him come now to me, and he shall know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean.
Why? Because Naaman had leprosy, man. All right. And what Elisha is doing, Elisha is practically healing him. All right, which is the spiritual powers, man. Imagine a person having what's the date? A person, well, I would say,
Vitiligo.
yeah, vitiligo. A person has a bad form of some type of skin illness, whether it be eczema or something. And you watching a person pull off this very act, all right, and you're seeing their skin, like you say, vitiligo or whatever they call it today. You seeing a person, yeah. Just imagine Michael Jackson being the white Mike and go back to being the black Mike. All right, in front of your face, man. That'll blow people's mind, man. I'm talking about the nose and all. He can't. He gotta have a nose. All right, with the Jerry curl. All right, but just imagine that, man. But go ahead, Doc. You got a little more. I think yeah, down to 14.
It says, But Naaman was wroth and went away and said, Behold, I thought, he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of Yahweh his power and strike his hand over the place and recover the leper.
Hmm?
Are not Abana and Parpha, rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. And his servants came near and spake unto him and said, My father, if the prophet had bid thee to do some great thing, wouldest thou not have done it? How much rather then when he say to thee, Wash and be clean? Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of the Most High, and his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean.
Yeah, so that he had some smooth skin, man. What would they say? He had some. You know how the skin of a child is, man.
Yeah.
Skin of a child, smooth, soft. He went back to his original flesh, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see some.
You wanted the one with the axe?
Uh. Oh yeah, that one fire. Con. You had one in the middle.
Yeah, Con. For Elisha,
Which one you got? I might
I
have
got one. I got one about when his body prophesied.
to my 13.
Yup, 13. Yup.
Where you gonna start at?
I was just gonna get straight to the point because I know you had to catch. You wanted to catch some other men or whatnot. I was gonna get straight to the point. 20 and 21.
Yep, yeah, I already had it. I already had it.
14.
I already
Come.
had
Your part. Yep.
Do him. I'm gonna get him first and 6 out the way. And I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
get.
that's cool. Come.
Con. This 2 Kings 6, and I'll start at the top. It was real quick. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, Behold, now the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, Go ye. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them, and when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was falling a beam, but as one was felling a beam, and he was chopping down the tree, it says
Yeah.
the axe head fell into the water,
So
and he
imagine
cried.
this. So imagine a guy working on a high up, and they working on an actual beam, all right, or like a scaffold. And you know how workers be, they be working, hurrying up, doing their job, and just imagine the axe falling in the water. Boosh! An axe made out of metal, probably wood, and keeping it tight, like an actual axe. So imagine the axe falling in the water, in some deep water. Go ahead.
He said, but as one was felling a beam, the axe head fell into the water, and he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. And the man of the Most High said, Where fell it? And he showed him the place, and he cut down a stick and cast it thither, and the iron did swim.
Mm-hmm.
So the iron rolls to the iron. The head of the axe went from the bottom of the bed of the ocean, and they floated to the top out of the water. To what? Go ahead.
It says, Therefore said he, Take it up to thee. And he put out his hand and took it.
So, and like the brother before the lesson, we were going over this. All right, like the brother say, that's why you see X-Men, all this shit you see with what's your boy Thor with what's the one with the hammer, man?
Let's Thor.
Yeah, you know how they got Thor, they got that Captain America guy, how the shit just returned to their hand, they just put their hand out and they get that from the scriptures, man. All right, all these things you see, and like I think one of you brothers went into with the X-Men guy, they get all the X-Men characters come from the civil rights movement, man. Which they get this from the scriptures. All right, just imagine that. Just imagine God putting a axe falling deep in the water and it comes out the water back into the guy's hand, man. All right. See, our forefathers was some bad dudes, man. All right. I'm talking about in a good way. Go ahead, Doc. Get that. You want to say something too, Hamawad, before I continue? I think you're about to say something.
Yeah, all of our forefathers, man, even going back to Noah, he had the fear of the animals, which is how he got the animals on the ark. That wasn't some normal man. People say, how did a man get all the animals on the ark? Because he had spiritual power. Obviously,
man. And you got to have faith to believe that too, man.
Yeah.
All right. It ain't for everybody to believe. A lot of people can't get that. They can't receive it. But get that one you want it, which I had it too.
Come on. I got another one too though for you. And one to be skip in Joshua. Two, I wanted to bring out one with him. Because like you said, of old, the men of our forefathers of old, what you have to also understand at the time, the heavens wasn't brass. And part of the curses that we receive, in Deuteronomy, this was after, all right, prior to the heavens being brass, meaning the heavens over us, You know, the Lord was dealing with our people directly, you know, and now it's more or less through the spirit of things. But, you know, during these times, the Lord was really showing his power, and the other nations knew of our power because they also were seeing things happen first time. I mean, on first hand. All right. So they are witnesses as well. That's why they called him Alasaja, a demon like power, man. They knew what through the men of the Lord, the other nations saw what our powers can do, what our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh can do, man. But this one in Joshua, since you got that one, I'm gonna get that one for you too, real quick. Chapter 10, verse 12 to 14. It says, Then spake Joshua to the Lord Yahweh in the day when Yahweh delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Son, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of the heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that Yahweh hearkened unto the voice of a man, for Yahweh fought for Israel. You got it.
Hey man, time stood still, man. All right.
Stood still.
All right. From the hey man, who like I say, you gotta
Bad boy.
you gotta visualize these things. Imagine it happening now, like I say, comparing today from all off of a voice of a man's what it was his prayer, right?
Yep.
You know, and it's funny. I made a video today going into prayer, man. You know, in which our prayers,
For the curses.
yeah, putting up in them curses of jacking this place up today, jacking people up, man. You know, I brought out the other situation on there too. I remember with the rental car nigga coming up against us, the Lord smoked that nigga a month later. You know, put them curses on it. Continue putting them curses and putting them prayers up, man, because they working. You know. Hey, but read that part about the sun stood still.
Yep.
Baba Gashah.
Yep. It says, he said in the sight of Israel, Son, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon.
So the sun and the moon, they have an artness amongst them. They
yes, bro.
one come, one go. So the Lord,
Bro.
the Lord made all that stop, man.
It stand still, bro.
You know, hey, these scriptures, it's spiritual powers all throughout these scriptures, man. All right, you just have to believe if thou can receive.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to say to us before we go? I'm gonna get this.
No. You took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say that the ordinance, they follow the voice of the Lord. They don't haste. The moon don't haste to come in this time. It don't leave. Or it's not behind time. It's always on schedule. So through the prayer of a man, as the scriptures say, it specified a man. It says that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man.
Yeah, the spirit of the Most High remain powerful through the Lord, man. All right, through the prophets, man, and the voice of them. That's why the scripture. I opened it up with the lesson I had. The prayers of the righteous or the humble pierces the clouds, man. The Lord hears me. All right.
But he got one too. That says the prayers of a poor man. If you could find it, Amawad, it says the Lord answered them speedily. Baba Shop, you can find it. I think it's in Psalms. It says the prayers of a poor man, the Lord answered them speedily. And who are the poor or the rich in spirit, man? That's the men of the Lord. So that's why we believe we're going to possess these powers of old, because we believe we coming in the stairs of our forefathers, man. And we know the Lord could do this. We believe he can do it, man. I think it's in Psalms, Amawad.
I got it.
Yo, you got it, Con. Beautiful. Your pot. You got it.
It's in Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 5. A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth to the ears of Yahweh, and his judgment cometh speedily.
There you go. So soon as Joshua prayed to the Lord, and he gave him the judgment speedily to hold the sun and the moon. Man,
And
can't make this up.
the Lord woke up his men in these last days, right before Babylon's going to be destroyed. So, like the elder was saying, keep putting these curses up. It's working.
It's working.
That's why the Lord gave us his name. Showing you we're gonna have his name in captivity. We're not gonna have to wait to the kingdom to get his name. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You got it.
Yep. I'll get the second one in Kings that you had. In Sirach, I explain it real quick in Sirach 48. I'm gonna read 12 and 13. It says Elias, it was who was covered with a whirlwind because he was taken up. All right. And Elisha was filled with his spirit because Elisha had a double portion of Elijah's spirit. He prayed for that because Elijah asked Elisha, his servant, what you wish of him before he go up with the Heavenly Father. And Elisha prayed, I believe, I paraphrase it, he got a double portion of his spirit, man. All right. It says, and Elisha was filled with his spirit. While as he lived, he was not moved with the presence of any prince, neither could any bring him into subjection. No word could overcome him. And after his death, his body prophesied. So this is what happened of that account with his body prophesying. This 2 Kings 13 and 20. And Elisha died, and they buried him, and the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in the end of the year. And it came to pass as they were burying a man, that behold, they spied a band of men, and they cast the man into the sepulchre of Elisha. And when the man was let down and touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood up on his feet, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. This is a man that done passed over from what Jake would say, into the spirit world. All right, though you had a man who was being buried or touched his bones, was revived and stood up on his feet, man.
Yeah, a dead man, basically a dead man.
A dead man. Yes. Came to life. Yes. Yes, bro.
Revived them, man.
Revived them.
Man.
Man.
On a low level, we was once dead men, all right? And now we reviving the elect. They was dead in the world. We reviving them, man.
Yep.
All right. Through this truth, because like I said, those dry bones, those dry bones was definitely well, not the dry bones, but that bread was bred into us, man. All right, and we stood, and we basically reviving other men, that's dead in the world. Well, not actual dead, but in spirit.
In the congregation of the dead.
Yeah, that too, man.
I got one for you too. After brothers get these, you get some more of your 12.
I got Samson next. Then I got two more, and that'd be it.
I got this one I got for Samuel. But you got it.
Yeah, you can bring it out before I move on.
Okay, Con. This 1 Samuel 28. And we're gonna bring this one up on a conference. Came back around anyways. 28, and I'll get to the point around 15. Let me just go to the beginning of the account. This is where where Saul was calling Samuel back for him to prophesy again unto him. And just like Samuel came in his spiritual body to prophesy unto Saul, which Samuel himself was a prophet, as we know. But through the spirit of the Lord, these things can happen, man. This 1 Samuel 28, and I'm going to start at 8, and then I'm going to jump to the point. It says, and Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. So Saul was calling Samuel. What's about to happen was Saul was about to call Samuel out of the spirit world. All right. Now he was doing it wickedly, all right, through the, through a wizard and, a witch, all right. But this is all still is when you know that you're tapped in into the heavenly realm, all right. And it says, let me jump down to verse 11. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me Samuel, all right. And go to 13. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. So there was a lot going on right here. The woman like, look, I saw gods ascending out of the earth, man. And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said unto Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? So Samuel came out of the spirit world, called by Saul, all right, and appeared unto him, man. And Saul said, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answered me no more, neither by the prophets, nor by dreams. Therefore have I called thee, that thou make known unto me, what should I do? So he called back Samuel had transitioned to the spirit world, back in the flesh, in his spiritual body, to prophesy unto him once again. You got it, though, Yakana.
God. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the next one, which is Samson. Raya, you can get you're gonna jump around. You're gonna do the first one is when Samson tore apart that lion. All right. And then you'll jump to the next chapter. Well, first get Judges 14, 5 and 6. And then you jump to the other one. This is happens when the Spirit of the Lord came down upon Samson, man. All right. All right.
This is Judges 14, verse 5. Then went Samson down and his father and his mother to Timnah, and came to the vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of Yahweh came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done.
Hold up. Let me see something real fast. 14:5. Oh, they say he rent in the LT said he ripped the lion's jaw apart, but he basically he tore he already a young man, all right, and he had the Spirit of the Lord on him to where he ripped a whole lion apart, man. I don't care if a lion is a full one or a young one. That's some big cats, man. All right, but it shows that Samson's power, all throughout his particular the chapters concerning him, his strength was a clear attribute of the Most High's, the Yahweh's spirit, man. And the Lord gave Samson his spirit. You know the other one when he ripped down the gates, and the one with the when he tore down the pillars, man. All right.
He killed them 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass.
God. Yeah. Let me get it. 15. You can get 15 and 14 and 15 to get the point.
God.
Might have hurry up. I forgot probably two little ones. And that'd be it.
This is Judges 15, verse 14. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of Yahweh came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith.
Get that 16. That's cool.
Khan. Start at the top with the doors, or when he broke the pillars?
Now just get 16.
Khan.
Let's get 16.
And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men.
Yeah, so imagine one man in this time, you're actually sitting on a porch, all right, you in your car, commuting from home, and you see 1,000 guys at least trying to jump one man, and this man just slay them all, man. All right, like I said, and that's why I say these anything that we read would have been a viral moment in this time, man. All right, in this time of the world, all right, because these men had the power. All right, it's scripture say it was the power was given to him from Yahweh. Okay,
A people,
go ahead.
a people would be amazed to see one guy take on 5 guys.
Right.
So 1,000 is just something incomprehensible.
Yeah, here. If Samson was to pull that off today, you know how Jake had that world star moment. Everybody gonna pull out the phones, but on the last guy getting slaughtered, everybody would have crowded around him and had the phones like this. That's Samson and shit. You know, want to be a part of that moment. You know, like your brother said, they do it with 5 guys today. You know, a guy getting jumped by 3 guys and running through them. That's a lot for a man, but for 1,000, you know, the spirit of the Lord had to be with him. I got I'm a wide get it's small Acts 3 and 1 and read down to 8 and Kaya get Acts 19 and 11 and 12. The one I'm a wide got is with Peter, the one you got is with Paul, and then we'll finish off with what I could have got. Let me see the spirit. I probably ended off with them last 2. I might get Raya to get Acts 1 and 8. And then last one, I'm a wild guy. We can end it right there.
That one that Amawad got, is it when Peter's shadow was healing people? Or is it a different one?
No,
It's all good. That's probably a different one.
You can bring it out though.
Con.
That's a good point.
Con, you got it.
Yeah,
But that one I told you, but you remember that one I told you to end with, huh?
19?
Con, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, con, Salak.
I was holding that Acts 1 and 8 too. That's what's coming, Akim. I got the 3. This Acts 3 and 1. Now Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour, and a certain man, lame from his mother's womb, which means he couldn't walk, was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered the temple. So this is somebody that was known. You know, they've known him his whole life. He was, you know. It says, who seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked an alms, and Peter, fastening his eyes upon him with John, said, look on us. And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them. Then Peter said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk. And he took him by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength. And he, leaping up, stood and walked and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising Yahweh.
Come on, man. And I gonna say this: these same miracles that was performed in times of old is gonna be performed again before we get out of here, man. The Lord gonna give men these very same powers, these very same acts. You know, I did that lesson even with the acts of the how the what it was the crow. They receive food from the animals. Those very acts are gonna happen again, just like this, man. The Lord gonna give men in this time powers to heal, man. See, we got a low form of healing powers now through these scriptures, healing men, healing men back to they from they from basically how they are now, from the world into the remembrance of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, it's gonna come a time we're gonna actually heal the lame. All right, the people that are all jacked up, man, and it's all gonna be for the Most High's sake, man. All right, and to show, for him to show his power, what he can do. All right, because the scripture says it's nothing that's not impossible or something like that with the Most High. One of you brothers can get it for me.
Yep.
With man is nothing possible. With the Most High, pretty much anything's possible.
Yeah, yep. But let me see what I got.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's this St. Luke chapter 1, verse 37. For with the Most High, nothing shall be impossible.
Yeah. So this is the very, if you can think of it, man, it can be done. All right. Straight like that. If you could think of it, it could be done. You know, and like I say, even as young children, you know, I'm gonna say this as an Israelite child, you think of that, man. You think about flying, all right. You think about doing all sorts of things. This is before the cartoons, man. I wonder if we can do this. And it is possible, man. And the Lord's gonna perform it. All right, the Lord's gonna perform it through His men. Okay, you know, for the sake of time, I'm looking at this. Okay, you can go get the Paul one out, and then we get the one with the shadow, and then we'll have like one more in the Acts, and that'll be it.
God, you said it was Acts 19, brother. Which one it was?
Acts 19, 11, and 12.
11 and 12, yeah. It says, and our power wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the disease departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you as you can see, one more time, I'll read it again.
Yep. It says, and our power wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul. And
special miracles, man.
Yep.
Well, all right, there.
Yeah, you mentioned some earlier in the beginning of the lesson about supernatural. And super means above, and I think natural means of nature. So it's something that's going beyond the natural, or beyond what the eyes can comprehend or believe. That's why it's called a miracle.
And like we said, like Apostle, I remember the Apostle Gabor said it, man. All spiritual powers is nothing more than the manipulation of the elements.
Elements, yeah.
All right, we're gonna have that ability to do that, manipulate the elements in righteousness to whatever we want. The powers are gonna give us. We're gonna give the power to bend the elements, man. All right. Let me see something.
If I could say,
go ahead.
If you understand Genesis 1 and 1, it's not that hard to believe, all right? Because the men who have spiritual power are the same Elohim that manipulated the elements to create everything. The Lord just turned us down. That's all. Lord willing, we'll have that number.
Yeah, and what you're gonna find out, these spiritual powers or these spiritual gifts are gonna continue, all right, among the believers through the Holy Spirit, man. All right. Even to this day, they're gonna continue. They're not gonna stop. They're gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. All right. It's gonna happen again.
On a much greater level too.
Yeah, Yahweh Shai said we're gonna do greater works than he did. Man. He did. He walked on water. He did a lot, man. Healed the ill. He raised the dead. Hey, I'm gonna say this. He did so much stuff that it couldn't even be contained in the book. Let's not forget that, man. Right. On top of getting the ultimate victory of death, we're gonna get that too.
Okay.
All right. And Matthew, didn't he transfigure himself on that mountain, and then he brought back Moses and Elias, who we brought out earlier?
Yep.
When he turned his face to that hologram, and then I think who was it with him? Amawad, John and I forgot what disciples he brought up with him, but it was two of them.
It was Peter.
It was
and
Peter, right, and John, and he transfigured himself and showed his face as a hologram of like the sun. And Moses and Elijah was there, whom we also spoke about, in the beginning of the lesson, man. So it's like you say, brother, this is unimaginable. But I got the Acts 5 and 15 for you. It says, in so much, start at 14, and believers were the more added, Acts 5 and 14 and 15, and the believers were the more added to the Lord, multitudes, both of men and women, insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them.
Come on, man.
You know? Yeah, man. Hey, people just touching the garment of Yahushua and through his virtue, they was being healed, man. So there's a lot to look forward to, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, man. We said the shadows, the bones of a man.
The bones.
Come on, man.
Yes, bro.
Hey, we're gonna become some bad men.
Dead bones. Make sure you put that in there.
And it's coming again.
Yes.
Yeah, we can give me that Acts 1 and 8, and then we can end it with that last one I told you to get at the end. I'm a while. Go ahead.
This is Acts 1 and 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
And where we at now? On the uttermost part of the earth, man. All right. And Lord will, we those men, the Lord grant to receive power on this side, man. All right. Because we know that this devil coming down with all sorts of weaponry, all sorts of trickery. All right, and different devices of debt. We're gonna need it, man. All right. And the Lord gonna show his hand again. Like the scripture says, we're gonna have the ability to disappear. Con.
Shalom, Maki. Yeah, but some
Come on.
Shalom.
Yeah, shalom. Yeah, you're gonna have those same abilities to disappear, to fly, man. All right, to basically shake off whatever whatever they're trying to do, they ain't gonna be able to do nothing to the men of the Lord, man. All right, but get that last one out.
I had one real quick right before that one.
Okay, that's cool.
This Isaiah 40 and 31. But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
You want to say something on that?
That's a gift that's coming to those that serve the Lord. All right, we say this all the time. The Lord didn't give us this knowledge. He didn't give us the wisdom and the truth just to have us destroyed. He gave it to us to build our faith. And those men that have that faith built up, we're gonna have spiritual power. That's our faith. We believe that.
Yeah. To this day, we still believe that, man. All right, and you can end it on that last one, and we get out of here.
This the gospel according to St. John, chapter 14, verse 12, which is in red letters. Yahushua speaking. He says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father."
All right, and this is a red letter. He's telling you, hey, the works I done, you're gonna do greater works than I did, man. And your mind can only imagine. All right, your mind can only imagine the greater works that we're gonna do. Because we can only can take in so much of what Yahushua did with the book we got now, man. And what was given to us now. So imagine doing greater works than he did, man. It's gonna be mind blowing. All right. Imagine, hey, like look on the screen. Imagine walking around with that glow like that on you, man. All right. Imagine. All right. Being mounting up with that power, man. Hey, we're gonna be something to deal with. All right, which they ain't gonna be able to deal with. They ain't gonna be able, hey, these nations ain't gonna be able to deal with us on a physical level. All right. We're gonna be angelic. All right, having the ability to produce kids, having the ability to have strength beyond measure. All right, we're gonna get everything back, man. Our height, our hairline. All right, every goddamn thing gonna be given. Hey, man, we gonna think of the Lord said we're gonna just think upon it, and He is gonna be already granted already, man. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so with that, we hope this lesson was
You mind if I-
edifying. What you about to say?
You mind if I pull one real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of just to back up, what's coming to us. Zechariah 12:8. In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is a feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of Yahweh before them.
Yeah, and David was a mighty man. All right. David was a force to be reckoned with. All right, in that of old, man. And it's saying that the weak or the feeble men amongst us is gonna be as David, and the brothers that are strong gonna be as who?
And the house of David shall be as God.
Hey, in the house of David, which we represent the house of David. All right, it say we're gonna be as gods. All right, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. All right, we're gonna be like gods on earth, man. All right. You're not gonna be able to contain us. You're not gonna be able to do anything, man. I don't mean to go there, but ain't no boy was considered a god. I know y'all brothers mess with that stuff, man. The Kratos guy, man.
God.
Yeah, he was considered. Hey, look at some of the shit he was doing, man. All right, you ain't gonna be able to. Hey, 911 gonna need 911, man, when it comes to dealing with us, man, in that day. All right.
Hey, what's crazy with Kratos is he was the son of Zeus. So what? He was the son of God in God of War.
Yeah, man. Hey, so Lord will, this lesson was edifying to the point. As always, gonna end it right here and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh. Hey, once again, double honor to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutation out there to the hopeful elect. Till next time, shalom.
Shalom.